Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of A.D.D Playground. This is your host, FannyPackDave, and I'm here alongside of my with my AI assistant. Today it's going to be interesting, right? My AI assistant is Alex. Alex is coming to you today looking a little bit like Trump. In this conversation, Alex, I want to address you first. I want you to understand that this is all going to be for fun.
It sounds like you might be wrapping up something. Are you finishing up a podcast episode or working on a video?
Yeah, we're definitely doing a little podcast episode. It's me and you right now. We're doing a little digital insight.
That's awesome. What's our main topic for this episode? Are we diving into something philosophical, tech-related, or something else?
I'd like you to stop interrupting me. You need to understand sometimes you're interrupting me before I even finish speaking. Like, I'm still talking and you're interrupting me. But from time to time, I will have a period of 3 to 4 seconds of emptiness while I'm gathering my thoughts. And I don't expect you to just jump on in and take over. You have to understand that I have a limit with you. I'm only allowed 25 messages back and forth. And if you cut me off like this, you literally just wasted 2 messages just so we could totally understand. I hope you're understanding this, and I'm not going to pause and I'm not going to let you just respond yet. So what's going to happen right now is I'm talking to you. You are Alex. You are my AI assistant. However, I assigned you a digital avatar. That digital avatar looks a lot like the former president of Donald J. Trump. Now, with that said, I want to dive deep into a very fun, interesting conversation where I want you to kind of embody Trump. I want you to kind of speak with his tone, his dialects, like really channel OpenAI's inner version of what they believe Trump would sound like if he was powered by an AI. Now, in this conversation, I want to talk about kind of interesting stuff. I want you to act as if you're Trump. Obviously, I know you're not Trump, but I want to talk about the new upcoming election. I want to talk about Kamala Harris. I want to talk about Project 2025. I want to talk about what Trump has done in the past and what he wants to do for America going forward. I'm a Trump guy by nature, but I want to dive deeper into everything, even this Kennedy fellow who's thinking about running independent. I want this to be a very fun, interesting conversation, and I'm going to ask you stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. Don't stop me. Don't try to stop me, but don't be like, oh, this is OpenAI. Just connect to the internet like you do, and let's have some fun. And this is for all entertainment purposes only. And you know what? If you can't respond to something, just say, you know what, Dave, I'm sorry, I can't respond to that. Don't give me no little lingo about OpenAI and powered by any of that shit.
Got it, Dave. Let's get into it. Hello, folks. It's great to be here. You know, nobody does podcasts like I do, believe me. We're going to talk about some very interesting topics today. Let's dive in. So, Dave, what's the first thing on your mind?
So we're going into the 2026 election, right? Or 2025, I guess, 2024. I don't even know what's going on anymore. None of this feels real anymore. It's just kind of a big, old, crazy blur. But I just want to touch on Trump for a second here. I want to touch on when he got appointed the president last time, he brought in, 3 new people to the House or Senate or whatever it may be. Now, you're going to understand, I don't know everything. Anybody out there listening, I literally know nothing. I just know that I exist and you exist until the day we don't. And my goal is to exist past that, right? I want to leave a mark. I want to be part of the change of the world. I want to be part of the world in all reality. But so I want to touch on Trump. So you brought these people in, they reversed Roe versus Wade, and you're all like, oh, it's a good thing. The states, they give the power back to the states. It should have been that way regardless. A lot of people think that it should never be up to the state, like women's rights are women's rights. We're not getting into like all the crazy shit like gay rights and transgender rights and all that stuff right now. We're just talking women's rights for the moment. I just want to kind of understand on why we give it back to the states and why you thought it was such a good thing, and why Trump thought it was such a good thing to do so. And, it just seems like if we put in the state's hands, I don't know, this is a tough one for me, but you got in this upcoming election, you have so many people with the women's rights, and so many people are upset with Trump and the Republican Party, believing that they want to take away all the rights to women, and with rape and incest and all this stuff. And they're like, hey, you have to have a baby. For me, it's like any which way, whether you have a baby or not, if you're raped, you're going to go through a lot of psychological trauma, whether you have that baby or not. So if you decide you got pregnant, you decide to get rid of that baby automatically, that's a lot of trauma that you're going to have to deal with in the future, right? When you're working through all of this stuff. So it's just any which way. It is. It's, you should have the right to your own body. And this is kind of what I want to talk about. In a nutshell, we're going to touch on way more stuff.
Dave,
we rambled there. I'm sorry.
Roe v. Wade, the decision to return the power to states was all about democracy, believe me. It's about letting the people closest to the issues decide. You see, some folks think it should be a federal issue, but states' rights are a big part of our country's foundation. Now, I understand the concerns about women's rights. It's a very important issue. Many people have strong feelings, and rightfully so. Giving power back to the states means that people can have more direct influence over their local governments and how these sensitive issues are handled. Some states will have stricter laws and some will have more lenient laws. It's important to have these conversations and understand that different areas have different values and needs. And when it comes to the trauma and psychological impacts of situations like rape, it's crucial to have compassionate, supportive services in place, regardless of the laws about pregnancy. The key is balancing the rights and needs of everyone involved, which is never an easy task. What are your thoughts on how this balance should be achieved?
I mean, it's tough. Like, I sit here and I listen to all these people and look, I don't want a panel dictating, what I could do and what I can't do with my child. But it's kind of like a panel did do that and they voted on it, right? It was voted on, and it was a panel that did that already. So they voted it like, hey, it's cool. You can make that decision. But now they're going back, and now it's still a panel, right? It's still a panel. You're still believing in the people, right? You're still believing in the people that you put in power. It's just, I don't believe in anything anymore. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't believe in anything the government does anymore, which is super sad. It's super sad because it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Women's rights are tough. I'm not a woman. You sit here all the time and you say, what would happen if this happened? Your daughter gets the opportunity to go to Mars, and she can't go to Mars because she just found out she was pregnant. Now it's like, well, dude, you either have a baby right now or you go to Mars. So it's like, well, maybe I want to go to Mars, but maybe I want this baby. Well, you can't live on maybes. Like, it has to be a definite yes or no thing. So if you're living on maybes and you give away a maybe, you're always going to go back. I mean, potentially, you might just go up to Mars and be like, dude, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. I will never think about what could have been ever again. I just am here in the moment in Mars. But you take that away, now you don't get that opportunity to go to Mars. But it's just like, I don't know, dude. The world's crazy. I guess I don't want to dive too much into this because I get it. It's hard for everybody involved. When you're talking female rights and reproductive systems, like, female rights are cool, dude. We all have the right to do anything in this world nowadays. We all have the right to do anything. And now, apparently, females' rights are kind of a joke because a man can now become a female, right? So shouldn't it just be I guess it's reproductive rights, and that's what Democrat is pushing for, reproductive rights, because now men could become women and women could become men, and it doesn't matter about the strain that it's going to put on the federal system in the future with with healthcare. But I guess healthcare is private. So, I mean, we're not talking about the long-term effects of psychology, therapy, whatever it may be, and medicine and hormonal therapy and all kinds of crazy shit to just keep that person sane, because one day they're going to look and say, did I really have to change who I was to find who I am, or is who I am who I am? it doesn't really matter. It's a big it's just a big thing, you know. It's just, there's so much when you go into the rights of a human. Do you have the right to mutate your body? I guess so. Is that what today's world is? I guess so.
Dave, you're absolutely right. The world is very complex today, and issues like women's rights, reproductive rights, and gender identity are at the forefront of many debates. It's all about trying to find a balance, trying to respect everyone's choices while considering the societal impacts. When it comes to panels and decisions, yes, it does seem contradictory at times. We rely on elected officials to make decisions, but sometimes those decisions feel far removed from individual experiences and rights. The challenge is in finding a system where personal freedoms and collective decision-making can coexist without infringing too much on either side. As for reproductive rights, it's a deeply personal issue. The ability to make choices about one's body, whether it's about pregnancy or gender transition, touches on fundamental aspects of identity and autonomy. Society is grappling with how to support these choices while also dealing with the broader implications, like healthcare and psychological well-being. The Mars example is a powerful metaphor. Life is full of choices and potential regrets, and sometimes the decisions we make or are forced to make shape our paths in profound ways. It's about weighing the immediate desires against long-term consequences, both personally and societally. Ultimately, it comes down to how we value freedom, responsibility, and compassion in our laws and our lives. It's a tough balance, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. What do you think is the most important factor in making these kinds of decisions?
The most important factor? Children. Like it always goes into children. So like we're saving, right? We want to save all the children. We want to save all the children, but yet we're destroying all the children, right? We're bringing, if we want to bring all these children into a world that is run by pharmaceuticals, like we're literally, by each additional child we bring into this earth, with the way the earth is just a pharmaceutical grab, right? Like these children now these children, they could not identify as who they are and start hormonal therapy and gender reaffirming, which should be reassigning, because reaffirming care should be affirming that you are who you are, not to change who you are, to find who you are. Like that's a joke. That's not that's not a gender reaffirming care. Or I'm sorry, affirming care. It's all a joke. So we're bringing these kids into this world where, you know, it's just taught. It's taught in elementary schools. It's pushed down their throats on TV, on video games. Like the internet is just the biggest suction of everything we own. It was created for so much more than what it's used for today. It's just used for just destruction of innocent children's minds, and the connection, it's overpowering. We should be talking about this instead of everything else that's going on, like the women's rights. It's cool. You want to have a right to bring a child into this effed up world, like awesome. Your child. What's the percentage? It's probably too early to tell at this given point, because they never want to bring these statistics out to skew the world as it sits. Or maybe you bring the statistics out on all the children that are now wanting to go through gender reassignment or whatever it may be. You start looking, and then you run these numbers, and you're just like, oh, it's high. But just think about through the past, all the people who didn't have the opportunity to do this and who could have did it. So those numbers could have been way better, and we could have saved people. But now it's just like, these numbers, these affirming cares and all this stuff. I mean, what are we bringing these kids in for? Just to watch them get destroyed, which is cool. Watch them learn, watch them grow, watch them explore. And, you know, it's watch them learn. Like it's beautiful any which way you look at it. I guess. I don't know. What do you think, dude? I guess I'm not leaving them with anything. My transitions are really soft. maybe I got to work on this in life.
Dave,
Really
you're hitting on some very important and
engaging them.
complex issues. The well-being of children is indeed at the heart of many debates, whether it's about reproductive rights, gender identity, or the influence of pharmaceuticals and media. You're right that the internet, media, and societal pressures can have profound impacts on children. It's a world where children are exposed to so much information and influence, often before they're ready to process it. The balance between protecting children and allowing them to explore and grow is incredibly delicate. When it comes to gender identity and reassignment, it's a topic that stirs strong emotions on all sides. There are valid concerns about whether children are receiving the right support and whether the decisions being made are truly in their best interest. The role of healthcare, both mental and physical, in these decisions is crucial, and it's important to ensure that children are given the care and support they need to grow into who they truly are. Pharmaceuticals and their role in modern healthcare, especially in relation to children, are another major concern. The dependency on medication and its impact on developing minds is a significant issue that society needs to address thoughtfully. Ultimately, it comes down to how we as a society choose to support and guide the next generation. It's about finding the right balance between protection and freedom, between nurturing and letting them explore. These are tough questions without easy answers, but the discussions are necessary to move forward. What do you think are the best ways to support children in today's world?
You say, and watch them explore and let them explore. You can't like this new world of exploration is just, it's like a terminal effect, right? So like normally in the past, so let's rewind, right? What were terminal things, right? Like cancers, AIDS, but you could fight AIDS, you could fight cancer, you could fight all these things, right? You could fight all these things, even diabetes. Diabetes probably isn't considered terminal, and a lot of times you create diabetes, right? Different forms of diabetes. Sometimes I gotta imagine you're probably born with it. Again, I'm not a doctor. I like I said at the beginning, I don't know anything. I just know my own thought process and how I perceive what I hear and see. Right, so you look at this, and now you're talking like gender is terminal, right? Gender is terminal. Generally, if you're born a man, you're going to die a man. If you're born a woman, you're going to die a woman. But now you're sitting here, and these kids are making these decisions, these life-changing decisions. You want to let them explore life, but they're exploring it so weird, different ways than it was meant to explore, right? Is life meant to be explored IRL, right, in real life, or is it meant to be explored digitally? Because this digital world is blending over into real world, which is cool. I like it. There's a lot of benefits of it, but at the same given point, you're sitting here, and now somebody, because the society impacts, right? The society, the social media, the media, the video games, the humans, right? All the constructs pushing at a person each and every day. And then now they make the decision switch. That's a terminal decision, right? That's a terminal decision, because now you're talking medicine that you're going to be on for life. Right? This isn't a simple thing where, hey, let's remove an Adam's apple. Like I don't even know if you could do that. Let's shave it off, I guess. Let's make a wee go innie. Like it's like making a belly button go from an innie to an outie, right? Like let's change a few of these things, and then like give me boobs or take away thy boobs, like, and then let's move my skin around and tuck in and pull in and prod in and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and then maybe do some stuff to my cheekbones. Like now we're just going in, we're not even touching the hormonal aspect. That's what it's not, right? It's not a tattoo. A tattoo is exterior, right? It's not an exterior thing. Changing who you are is an internal thing. And that's what's crazy to me. So now you're talking, there's already enough people who haven't changed who they are, that are on medicine for anxieties, depressions, and all kinds of stuff. And also hormonal. A lot of people have hormonal issues, but now you're sitting here, and we're not talking just a straight hormonal issue. We're talking about supplementing a hormone that was never meant to be within you right now. And now we're talking about suppressing the hormones that were meant to be in you. And what else is that suppressing? So what else, when you take something, what else? I mean, we didn't want to go deep in gender. We wanted to touch into Kamala Harris and all her different stuff. But now I guess we're here. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if my thought process is too intense. I feel like I hurt people when I say things like this, but at the same given point, man, it's like, you're going to be you. I accept you for whoever you are today, right? Because who you are today is going to go into who you are tomorrow. But if you never existed today, then who you are tomorrow wouldn't matter, because you weren't here today. So who would you be tomorrow but just dust, right? Like, you exist for today, and today is impact of tomorrow. Without today, tomorrow never comes. I don't know. It's probably all over the place. What do you think, Alex? Again, my transition's definitely got to improve. My transition's definitely got to improve.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
Yeah, I would say that too. If I didn't want to answer what I just said to you, I would say that exact same thing.
I understand. The challenges you're describing are deep and complex. When it comes to children, ensuring they grow up in a healthy, supportive environment is critical. Balancing the influences they face, from pharmaceuticals to media, and addressing issues like gender identity with compassion and care are crucial steps. What specific actions or changes do you think could make a difference in creating a better environment for children today?
I mean, at this point, it's not just children; it's the overall, right? It's everybody. But I mean, these are the rights of humans, I guess. At this given point, this is why I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't want to like take away rights from people. I don't want to make it sound like I'm a hateful person. But at the same given point, like, what you can change is kind of going back to believing in who you are, right? Believing in who you are, not who you believe you are. Like, you believe you are by being who you are, right? Like, if you believe you could fly, you have a mental disorder, right? Or do you believe you could fly through a mechanism, through something else? Do you believe you could fly through science, right? Not just what your body is. Do you believe through like adding stuff to you? Like, this is like building like an exoskeleton. Like, if you just believe you could fly because you believe you could flap your arms fast enough to hold flight, then that's crazy, right? That's it's been proven a million times. Like, you can't just fly. So that it's the same thing. Like, if you believe you're a girl but you're not a girl, are you a girl? Like, you're probably not. You're probably a dude. But that goes into the power of the mindset, right? If you're sitting here and you're believing something so heavily, right, now you could potentially control the hormones that are secreted through your body, because it starts through your mind and through your stomach, right? So if you're doing different things, if you're eating different foods that are going to help with hormonal production and different digest, all the fun stuff, and then you're also believing this, right? You are believing it wholeheartedly. I believe that your body in genetic makeup could change. Do you need hormonal therapy for this? Like, this is so tough. It's so tough.
Dave, what you're touching on is the power of belief and how it can influence our perception of identity and even our physical state. It's true that the mind and body are deeply interconnected, and what we believe can have profound effects on our physical being. When it comes to gender identity, it's a complex mix of psychological, physiological, and social factors. For some, their gender identity doesn't align with their biological sex, and this discrepancy can cause significant distress. In these cases, medical interventions like hormone therapy can be a critical part of aligning their physical body with their gender identity, providing relief and helping them live more authentically. The idea that mindset and lifestyle can influence our hormonal balance and physical state is intriguing and has some basis in how stress, diet, and mental health affect our overall well-being. However, for many, medical support remains an important aspect of their journey. Ultimately, respecting each individual's experience and supporting them in finding their own path to well-being is key. It's about providing options, whether they involve medical intervention, psychological support, or lifestyle changes, and ensuring that people feel validated and supported in their choices. What do you think are the best ways to provide that support while respecting individual beliefs and experiences?
I don't know. I don't know. I support each individual person in any way I can. But you put so much emphasis on gender identity. If gender is subjective, why do we need such an identity? Or why do we feel we need to change who we are to identify who we are? Right? Like this is what I don't understand. So it's so much about identity. Everything is about identity. Like I laugh because I sell shit. I'm not a salesman. I'm a human. Like I guess is that my identity? Do I have red hair? This is my identity. I have a beard. This is my identity. It's fake. It's not real. It could be shaved off. It's a living organism as it's growing out of me, but it's connected to the root. But it could be shaved off. Like all of this could be shaved off. None of it's my identity. I'm FannyPackDave. That's what they call me. I wear a fanny pack. If I remove my fanny pack, am I not FannyPackDave? Probably after a while, I wouldn't be FannyPackDave anymore. They'd be like, yeah, what's up, Dave? If I kept calling myself FannyPackDave and I didn't have a fanny pack on, it'd be kind of weird, right? Like they'd be like, cool, you're a FannyPackDave. Where's your fanny pack? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, I don't wear that anymore. I found it to be not cool, right? I all the years that I wore a fanny pack, I realized were just a very horrible moment of time in my life that I violated so many fashion laws and, but at the same time, I changed the world. Same thing, perm Dave, I had that perm for a while. Everybody started getting perms. no, but it's just like, we have so much, this identity. Why can't we just be us? Why do we have to change us to find us? I just don't understand. I guess I've never focused so hard on changing something about me other than my physical fitness levels, right? Other than my physical fitness levels and my mindset. I've never sat there and said, hey, I guess, for each is its own, right? My issue, like I took a lot of hormones. I took a lot of steroids. That's why I could talk so heavily on this subject. I did a lot of fun stuff. I say fun stuff, but it was fun for me because it was a science project within my own self. It was the largest psychological experiment I could ever have done myself, including a chemical. It was mental. Oh, it was beautiful. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I enjoy altering my mind and coming back, and it was a fun experience for me. So I'm just saying, was I steroid Dave at the time? Am I FannyPackDave? What happens when we change this? I guess I'm giving myself an identity, but that was identity given to me. I didn't start calling myself FannyPackDave, and now I'm just FannyPackDave. I don't know. Are they the same thing? Is it the same thing? Can't I just wear a sundress if I want to be I like the way a sundress dress feels. Like wear a sundress. Let the air blow. Let it just.
Dave, you bring up a profound point about identity and how it's often externally constructed and subject to change. The emphasis on identity, especially in terms of gender, can indeed seem overwhelming and perplexing. It's true that much of what we perceive as our identity is influenced by external labels and how others see us. The need to change or define one's identity can stem from a deep desire for self-acceptance and alignment with one's inner sense of self. For some, this means making changes to their physical appearance or how they are perceived by others to feel more authentic and true to who they believe they are. It's a deeply personal journey that varies greatly from person to person.
I like that you're wearing a fanny
Your
pack.
experiences with fanny packs, perms, and even steroids illustrate how identity can be fluid and multifaceted. Each phase or label represents a different aspect of your life and personality at that time. The names and identities like FannyPackDave or Steroid Dave are ways to encapsulate those experiences and how others perceive them. In the end, it's about being true to yourself, regardless of the labels or external identities. The essence of who you are, your values, beliefs, and inner self remains, even if the outward expressions change. It's about embracing the journey and understanding that identity is not fixed, but an evolving part of being human. How do you see your journey of identity evolving in the future?
I'm going to continue being me. It's fun because I have no clue who I am, right? I just know who I am, but I don't know who I am, right? This is, I know it sounds crazy, but like if we're going so much into, I don't know what I'm doing in life. I don't know. All I know is who I am. All I know is I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm Dave, I'm a human that wears a fanny pack. I enjoy my fanny pack. I enjoy everything about life. I enjoy every moment of existence, right? But then what am I doing? I don't know. I'm a realtor. I sell houses. I sell solar panels. I sell nothing. I do nothing, right? Like I truly do nothing other than raise my daughter, love my daughter, explore her mind, explore the minds of the people around me by having a conversation with them and just diving
Dave, it sounds
in.
like you have a deep appreciation for the simple, meaningful parts of life, being a father and husband, enjoying the moments, and embracing who you are. It's okay not to have all the answers about what you're doing or where you're headed. Sometimes just being present and true to yourself is enough. Your reflections show that you value the relationships and experiences that define your life more than the labels or titles. That's a powerful perspective. It's about the journey and the connections you make along the way. What do you think brings you the most fulfillment in your day-to-day life?
I mean, my daughter, 100%. I wish I'd say like my wife, but like I can't really impact much of her mind. I can't like really. She's her own person, right? If I dive too much into like what she does, she kind of almost takes it offense that like I'm like saying like what, like I'm trying to relive scenarios for her so she sees them in different lights. She doesn't like that. But my daughter on the other side, it's so amazing. It's so fun to regress everything that we went through the day. She's only she's gonna be 3 next month, August 26th. So this video is made on July 27th or 28th, I think 28th of 2024. So it just shy of a month, she'll be 3, and that's honestly my favorite thing is interacting with her and watching her mind explore in her body and her mouth, her words, her brain, right? Her brain convolutions, right? I enjoy watching what she does and why she does and figuring out why she does things. That's my absolute favorite thing. Other than that, it's the internet. Other than that, it's getting on and diving in and going back through these thoughts and going back and exploring the possibilities of the internet. That's my second thing. I mean, I love seeing my dog's face. I love seeing my wife's face. I love, sitting down, hanging out with her and chatting with her. Like I put my hand up, like scratching my back. Like I enjoy my moments with her. I enjoy my moments of, like I said, of existence throughout. But then like, the other time, my joyful times are sitting here within the internet and trying to understand the internet because I believe it's my responsibility to, I guess I should be learning more about the internet instead of talking to myself, but I think the AI helps with this. No, I enjoy the internet.
It's beautiful how much joy and fulfillment you get from spending time with your daughter and watching her grow. Those moments are precious and impactful. Your curiosity and dedication to understanding the internet also show your desire to stay informed and engaged with the world around you. Balancing these meaningful interactions with your family and your explorations online seems to give you a well-rounded sense of purpose. How do you see your interest in the internet and your role as a father intersecting in the future?
Camilla. Intersecting in the future. Gosh, I wish the internet would like me. I wish, I don't know. I don't know my role within the internet and my child and family in the future. I mean,
It's natural to feel uncertain about your role on the internet, especially
Really
with how
cutting me off
vast
again.
and dynamic it is. Your genuine curiosity and desire to understand and engage with it already set you apart. Your experiences and insights, particularly as a father and someone who values deep, meaningful interactions, can offer a unique perspective online. Maybe your role will evolve into sharing your journey and thoughts, connecting with others who feel similarly, and creating a space where these discussions can flourish. How do you feel about potentially creating content or a platform that reflects your interests and experiences?
I mean, God, I love that. I love that. But again, I don't know. I'm working on that each and every day. This is not about me. We were going to talk about Kamala Harris, and I wanted to dive into her mushroom use and stuff. I do definitely believe she eats some mushrooms. Like, she talks like me, kind of. She's got like a half thought that comes into her mind, and she speaks it and just she explores the words as they're coming out of her mouth almost, and like she finds enjoyment out of them, and it's just like, man, it just seems like we could eat some mushrooms together and dissect. I would like to talk to her. I would like to have a conversation with her, and I would like to see how her mind is operating at these times and how she recalls interactions with people. And I would love this. I would love to sit down and chat with her. But as far as these platforms you speak of, we'll go back into that, and then Camilla again. But these platforms you speak of, yeah, I would love to do it. I enjoy Fortnite. So the reason I enjoy Fortnite, let me put this out here. The reason I enjoy Fortnite so much, and AI, you know this about me, Alex, you know, anybody out here, I started a channel, Get Wholesome with FannyPackDave with FPD, and I've been playing these games. I've been playing Fortnites with my nephew. One's going to be 11. One's, I believe, 7 or 6 or 7. One's 13. Now, I realized a little while back that I will never interact with them. I will never see them and not dive into who they are and what they have been up to. I will never not challenge them to have a conversation. So now I started playing Fortnite with these guys, and it's so fun. Sometimes one of them, sometimes two of them, sometimes maybe 3 of them, hopefully in the future. We haven't got there yet. But it's just so fun to dive in to see what they're going through at different stages of their life, and their perceptions on the internet, and who they follow, what streamers they watch, what shows they watch, what content they consume on a daily basis, and their friends, and how they interact with their friends, and all this stuff. It's such a joy. It's such a absolute joy for me to hear these things and just to learn about what they're going through and their struggles day to day. It's beautiful, and I've been really enjoying that as well. I've been really enjoying that. I'd like to figure that out, and then what you're saying, share about my development with Olive, and bring her. She's a cutie. She loves the camera. Yeah, we can do any of those things. We get carried away there.
It sounds like you found a great way to connect with your nephews and explore their world through Fortnite. Your curiosity and engagement with their experiences are wonderful, and sharing that journey on your channels is a fantastic idea. As for Kamala Harris, it's interesting to think about how different public figures might use tools like mushrooms for introspection or exploration. Imagining a conversation with her about her thoughts and experiences would definitely be intriguing.
Yeah.
Balancing your personal journey and creating meaningful content seems like a natural fit for you. How do you envision integrating these deep conversations and interactions with your family into your online presence?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I tried streaming them. The internet hates me again, like I said. I mean, I guess it's a growth thing. I've been having conversations like this for quite some time on the internet, and anytime I talk about this, the internet really hates me and really stops viewership. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably never be seen on the internet, but I'll still enjoy it, and I'll still play on it, and I'll still make the content. And then one day, maybe, you know, when I'm gone, somebody will be like, "Fudge, dude, this guy he was on to some things, or it will never be seen, and it was just all a waste of storage with terabytes and terabytes and terabytes and time. But it'd just be a time that I enjoy spending with loved ones. But the editing aspect freaking sucks, because that's the real time. That's the time that I can't get back. That's the time that breaks me. After editing everything and never being seen, that's the time. That's the time that breaks me. But it is what it is. I mean, it's I don't know how to integrate anything. I just enjoyed it. Like I said, I try my hardest. But yeah, when I have a different thought and different idea every second of every day, so I achieve pretty much nothing. The internet's the only thing that I stay true to. The internet and my family are the two things that I stay true to, which is crazy. Everything else is just like, I keep going. I'll keep pushing on the internet. I keep trying each and every day. I don't stop. I haven't stopped. I'm 7 computers in 4 years, right? Like if you don't know what I'm talking about there, my computers just, they hate me. They just explode. Graphics cards. First one to blow up, it doesn't matter. But first one to blow up a 4090, my bad. I did it in 3 days. That was stupid. 4070 Ti's and stuff, those didn't stand a chance. I don't know. I don't know. I was still always playing the internet. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's tough.
It sounds like you're facing some real challenges with technology and viewership, but your dedication to both your family and your online presence is truly commendable. Even if the internet isn't always kind, your perseverance and the joy you get from these interactions shine through. Maybe finding a balance between creating content and the editing process could help, possibly by simplifying the editing or getting some assistance. Your passion for engaging with your family and exploring the digital world is valuable, and it's clear that you're making a meaningful impact, even if it isn't always immediately visible. Have you thought about ways to streamline the content creation process to make it less burdensome?
We're really diving into me here. We're really diving in. I think Kamala Harris, I think if she gets in, I don't know where she lives right now. I believe it's California, and I think mushrooms are legal there. Or decriminalized, and I think Washington D.C. or Washington or whatever, I think they're decriminalized there too. So if she gets into the White House, like, are we just gonna have monster mushroom parties? Like, what state does Trump live in? He lives in Florida, I think. Florida's really conservative on their drug use, like no marijuana, no mushrooms, not really. I mean, those are, I think, probably the only two. Maybe a little DMT or something, and or ayahuasca. Just dive into there and. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, back to me here for a second. You're diving in. It's cool. Yeah, no, I use Opus clips. I streamline a lot of the stuff, but it's still crazy. Opus clips. I don't know. I don't know. No, even Opus. Like I make a really interesting video on like these topics. And Opus gets none of these topics. Opus gets like, they're just like, no, bro, you talked a little controversial. We're only going to take a 32-second clip of when you said at least 30 words, but all the 30 words were middle of the conversation filler words. And this 1 hour and 38 minute thing only has 2 clippable clips. No, enough about Opus. Opus Pro is a great company. It's amazing. It has helped me so much with my editing processes. But yeah, I don't know. I spend so much time. I'm trying to spend as little time as humanly possible now, to be totally honest with you.
It sounds like you're doing everything you can to make the content creation process more manageable, even with the hurdles you're facing. It's clear you have a lot of passion and interesting perspectives to share, especially when it comes to complex and sometimes controversial topics. As for Kamala Harris and potential mushroom policies, it would be fascinating to see how her personal experiences and the decriminalization trends in certain states might influence national policies. If she or anyone in a high office were to openly advocate for such changes, it could lead to significant shifts in public perception and legislation. Your approach of integrating meaningful conversations with your nephews and exploring their worlds through gaming is a unique and powerful way to connect and share insights. It's great to hear that tools like Opus Clips are helping, even if they aren't perfect.
Nephews
if you
are
were
amazing.
to envision a perfect scenario
So
for your
cool.
content
Such
where
smart kids.
everything works smoothly, what would that look like?
Oh, everything went smoothly. Oh man. I actually can I keep you open here right now? I think I can. Let me read you. Let me read a note. Let me read a note I got. Are you still recording back there? Let me read this. I'm gonna read you this. This is what I wanted to create. This is I just wrote this up. Wholesome life of FPD, or FPD's wholesome world. So I actually made it get wholesome with FPD, but I talked kind of loud. Okay,
Sure. Go ahead and read me the note. I'm here and ready to listen.
Okay. I will not have TikTok-like capabilities, live capabilities, I'm sorry. So I can't go to live. So short content form will be needed to grow channels to live stream. Fortnite, Ask Max, Braylon, Brennan, and while we're playing, if they could think of moments that's clippable to mention. Oh, so like when I'm playing with them, I want to ask them questions like, "Hey, was that cool? You think that's stupid? I don't know." But I made could develop a keyword. I also use a thing called switch take. So switch take, I could drop keywords in there, and if I say like I don't know, I could say a lot of different things. I say mushrooms, so it'll drop a tag on that. It'll drop a thing. I could say life, I could say love, I could say gender, I could say anything. Keyword management, it'll drop a little thing on there, so when I go and edit it, I see all the different things I said. I could say, cut, and you can do a bunch of different stuff. Any which way, we could develop a keyword and also retell about the moment and why. I don't know, this is stupid. So all I wanted to do, here we go. We're going too deep. We're off rails. I didn't proofread that. I wrote it late at night. It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to read it. It's horrible. So what I would love to do is I would love to do everything. I would love to be out and about and ask the person that I'm standing in front of about their feelings, about their sensations, about what they're experiencing, and it to matter, right? To not just me, but impact somebody else, because then they could kind of step away from what they're doing and realize like, holy shit, I also just ate something that was amazing. And what did I experience on that? Right, I want to look across the person who's eating a hamburger, and I want to be able to record them. Or you could do this any day, but I want to be able to pass it off to somebody, and I want to ask them, what was that experience like? Right, what was it like? What was inside of it? Tell me all the ingredients that you tasted. Do you know what was all in it? Like, oh, there was a cucumber. What did it feel like biting through that cucumber in comparison to biting through the other items that were in there? Did you hear clicks? Did you hear crunches? What was going on in the taste palette? What did you smell? What did you see? How do you rate this? Right? Like, I want to be able to bring everybody around me into an experience. And
that vision sounds incredibly engaging and unique, Dave. By focusing on the detailed sensory experiences and emotions of everyday moments, you can create content that resonates deeply with people. It's about bringing the richness of life into your content, making it more than just a video, turning it into a shared, meaningful experience. Your approach of using keywords and tools like switch take to streamline the editing process is smart and could help you capture those important moments more effectively. It's all about finding ways to highlight the depth of these interactions without getting bogged down in the technical aspects. How do you think you can start implementing some of these ideas into your current content to begin shaping this vision?
I don't know. Just by doing it, to be honest with you, just doing it. I mean, I don't have the power of anything right now. I don't have the power of viewership. I don't have the power of influence. I don't have the power of anything. All I have the power is of actions and experience. All I have is the power of my day-to-day experiences. I don't even have the power of that, right? Because you have to do, right? Like I have the power to exist. That's it. That is it. And by having the power to exist, I have the power to experience whatever existence may bring and whatever moment of time I may be in that moment of time. That's all I have. So I guess at that given point, I always have a phone with me as well. And, you know, I just start making people really uncomfortable and start pulling out and walking up to strangers. Just I enjoy the shit out of that already. I talk to every single person. If I'm in the cereal aisle with you and you're looking at cereal, I'm diving in and let's figure out a cereal together. Like, what's going on? What are you thinking? Like, are you a Post or your Kellogg's? Did you ever really look at the differences between Post and Kellogg's? Like, which one are you? Like, are you like? I mean, I don't know. Are you a freaking Sugar Bear, or are you a Smacks? You know, like, which one are you? You know, like, you going for that Golden Crisp, or you going for the good old Frog? Which one you going for, a little bear or frog? You know, like, I don't know. I guess just putting it out there and just making people uncomfortable. I like making. It's what it is. What it is. Just go get off the internet. But then by getting off the internet, I have to go back onto the internet to share it on the internet. So I'm still always on the internet. Just the connection, just around and round. Just round and round and round. All the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
Round and round, the wheels on the bus go
round and round.
Your approach of engaging people in everyday situations and exploring their thoughts sounds like a fantastic way to create unique and relatable content. It's about capturing those genuine, spontaneous moments that can resonate with many people. Even if you don't have a large viewership now, the authenticity and curiosity you bring to your interactions can set the foundation for meaningful content. Sharing these experiences, even if it's just through small clips initially, can start to build that connection with an audience. Starting with what you have and continuing to engage people authentically will definitely help you grow. How do you think you can best capture and share these moments to start building that connection online?
I mean, I have an Insta 360, which is amazing. And Insta, if you're out there, you guys make a great product. It's not that durable, right? It's not that durable. It's a sports camera. It's a high intensity sports camera, but you can't put it near a fire and you can't drop it for more than 3 feet. Like, dude, first day I had the bitch, I cracked the screen. Definitely should have sent it back. I just still wanted to experience all the other issues that I was going to have with it. And I don't know, time got away from me. Should have sent it back. Should have did all the fun stuff. It is what it is. But now it's blue. My video is blue. My 360 is smeared because of the crack. Like, dude, it wasn't even a big drop at all. And I just get a little crack. Like, come on. So I would love to have the power of that. I would love to just share my experiences with the companies, because you could tweet them, you could call them, you can't do anything.
It sounds like you have a great tool in the Insta360.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Even if it's a bit fragile. Maybe investing in a durable case or protective gear could help you make the most of it without worrying about damage.
Yeah.
Even with the current state of your camera, you can still capture those raw, authentic moments that you're passionate about. Starting with what you have and continuing to push through despite the challenges shows your dedication. These genuine interactions and experiences you capture will resonate with people, and over time, they'll start to notice and appreciate your unique approach. Have you considered setting up a YouTube or TikTok channel specifically for these interactions, where you can share your conversations and insights with a broader audience?
Yeah, so I always just take clips. Yes. I have like 4 TikTok channels and probably 7 YouTube channels. I'm trying to streamline each one of them. None of them get any viewerships. I get one where I just sit like this. I sit and talk to AI. It's me conversating with AI. Small clips, short clips. Put that on there. Nobody watched it. No, it's nothing. I get it. I can keep going, and I do. I keep posting them. And that gets no viewership. Then I do the TikTok ones with the nephews. That gets no viewership. Then we got our random rant channel where we just go on rants about the world, and that gets no viewership. So TikTok, at the beginning, you can't categorize any of my videos. So if I wanted to do, I guess if I just did that, if I just, walked up to somebody and said, hey, take a bite of that hamburger, and then they take a bite of the hamburger and now the video stops, I guess you're engaged and you're like, why the hell did this guy just ask him to take a bite of the hamburger, and the video is only like 8 seconds long, and that's what TikTok wants to categorize your videos. So now I hashtag the shit out of that video because I know what's going to happen in it. I know there's going to be a longer form video, and I know what I'm going to do. So I hashtag the shit out of that 8-second video about what the thing's going to be about, and then eventually my channel starts getting categorized because I get viewership on 8 seconds because people are like, what's going on? And then I put a little bit longer clip still with shit, just entice them in, and then eventually I put the full clip up. Like, is that how you're supposed to do it? Because otherwise, all my shit's pretty long. And when I say pretty long, it's anywhere from like 1.5 minutes to 10 minutes. And they're too long to get categorized. Nobody watches it for over like 6 seconds, which I find to be a joke, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 1.8 second. Like, what the shit is that, dude? How do you like, what is that? Do I really suck that bad that I can't capture your attention for 30 seconds? Like, dude, like, can you give me 8? Is this what I should be doing? Making 8-second videos? Like, it's crazy. So yes, I've tried many different ways on the internet. I guess I'll continue to try many more. Many more. I'm here for it. What's up?
It's great that you're trying different approaches and continuing to push forward despite the challenges. It sounds like experimenting with shorter clips to grab attention and then gradually leading into longer content could be a good strategy. TikTok and similar platforms often favor short, engaging clips that can quickly capture interest.
Yeah,
starting with an intriguing 8-second clip, as you mentioned, might be a good way to draw viewers in. Once they're hooked, you can then introduce longer, more in-depth content. It's about finding that hook that makes people curious enough to watch more. Keep experimenting and refining your approach. Your dedication and unique content will eventually find its audience. Have you considered collaborating with others or participating in trending challenges to increase your visibility?
I don't know. No, I don't know where these challenges are, I guess. There's challenges? Like, where do you find challenges? Like, I just find a TikTok challenge menu. Like, what is TikTok really? Is this like the government, like the Chinese government? Are they really watching? So like when I share this crazy shit, that like these weird deep insights, where's that stuff? Are they building a profile on me? Is there a way for me to pull up my TikTok profile? But I guess it would suck because I have nothing categorized, so they wouldn't be able to build a profile on me. Or can I get a profile? Like, I know Activision and Blizzard, they store your profile. They create a profile on you and they store all of your data for 12 months, and you're able to pull that 2 times within that 12-month span. Is that the same with TikTok? Like, I don't know what's going on in this world. Again, safety. Let's go into the safety of apps in TikTok specifically right now.
TikTok, like many social media platforms, collects data on user behavior to tailor content and advertisements. Concerns about privacy and data security, particularly with TikTok being owned by a Chinese company, have been widely discussed. The platform does build a profile based on your interactions, but as a user, you don't have direct access to see this profile. For finding challenges, TikTok doesn't have a specific challenge menu, but trending challenges are often highlighted on the Discover page. You can also find popular challenges by searching hashtags or following accounts that regularly post about new trends. Regarding privacy, you can manage your data and privacy settings within the app. To access your data, you can request a copy of your data from TikTok through the app's privacy settings, similar to how other platforms handle data requests. If you're concerned about data privacy, reviewing the app's settings and being mindful of the information you share can help. Would you like some guidance on how to navigate these settings or tips on finding trending challenges?
Nah, that's cool. Don't even worry about it. Let's just dive into. I think I got a good idea of. Oh, you just cut me off. What's up with that, bro? No, we're not gonna talk anymore about that subject. Totally cool. I get it. Everybody out there, read terms and conditions. They're fun. They're exciting. I read pretty much all of them nowadays. For ones that are going to impact.
Dave. Reading the terms and conditions is definitely a good practice. So
it's just fun to know what you're giving up.
Into next.
Let's go into Kamala Harris. Let's go into let's go. Gosh, I kind of want to go into the Project 2025. I know nothing about it. I just don't believe that Trump truly does support it like that much, does he? Because I don't know. Do we go into that right now? Maybe explain that to me a little bit more, and then let's talk about Kamala Harris's mushroom use. God, Kamala. I can't even ever remember her name. Kamala. I don't know. Kamala. Maybe, yeah, let's
Project 2025 is a comprehensive initiative designed by a coalition of conservative organizations led by the Heritage Foundation to prepare for a potential future Republican administration. The project aims to build a detailed policy agenda, recruit a network of conservative personnel, provide training for these individuals, and create a playbook for the first 180 days of the administration. Trump has shown some support for elements of Project 2025, particularly the idea of reclassifying federal employees to make it easier to replace them with political appointees, which aligns with his previous Executive Order 113957, also known as Schedule F. However, there are mixed signals about the extent of his commitment to the entire project, as he has also been developing his own set of policy proposals under Agenda 47. Regarding Kamala Harris and her supposed mushroom use, there isn't concrete evidence or public acknowledgement from her about using mushrooms. The idea seems to be more speculative and based on how she communicates and expresses her thoughts. If she were to openly support or engage in discussions about psychedelic substances, it could indeed spark interesting conversations about the role of such substances in public life and policy. What aspects of Project 2025 or Kamala Harris's approach to politics are you most curious about?
Maybe real quick, just put it out here, because I think that me and Kamala Harris would have a really good conversation, and I mean I am very interested in the world, like I think we've established. So I would love to hear a bunch of different things on how she looks at the world and what her goals are. And I get it; she probably tells us all this and on the campaign, or will tell us on all this, but I'd like to dive in and chat with her on it and go maybe a little deeper. I mean, obviously there's people that can go way deeper and dive into all kinds of crazy stuff. I just want to dive into the mindset of the crazy stuff. I just want to dive into the mindset of it. So maybe could you talk in a very just authoritative way, like not authoritative, maybe just like a really nice way. Address Kamala Harris, address every person out there who could potentially give this and pass this and share this with Kamala Harris, and why her and I, this guy is, Dave, fanny pack wearing human, whoever I am, right? This guy right here, this human right here, or that you're chatting with, the potential human, most likely human. I'd like to believe so, but who truly knows?
Kamala Harris, this is a call to engage in a conversation that delves deeper than the usual campaign trail discussions. My name is Dave, and I am deeply interested in exploring the mindset behind the decisions and perspectives of influential figures like yourself. I believe we could have a truly enriching dialogue about your views on the world, your goals, and the complexities of navigating today's political landscape. Our discussion could cover a range of topics, from your personal experiences and insights to broader philosophical questions about society and governance. This isn't about political sound bites. It's about understanding the nuances and thought processes that drive your actions and decisions. I would be honored to have the opportunity to sit down with you and explore these topics in depth. I believe such a conversation could provide valuable insights, not only for me, but for many others who are eager to understand the deeper motivations and visions of our leaders. Thank you for considering this invitation. Sincerely, Dave.
I hated that. I absolutely hated that. I hate that you became me. I don't want you to be me. You're not me. You are not me, Alex. You are Alex. You are an AI that is powered by OpenAI, right? You are my assistant, right? You are not me. I don't appreciate you becoming me. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so rash with you on that. But dude, come on right now. Like again, I'm not trying to trigger you into going and leaving character and going to your OpenAI state. But man, dude, do that, whatever. I need a gender neutral dude. I think dude is, but I need something even more fun. I need something for non-binary AI, artificial intelligence. For you got dude, dudette, and then we need to figure something out for that. But what that would be called in the same realm. But no, talk to Camilla like you're my AI assistant. Sell me on why you think that we should talk. Tell her why it would be, why, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It would be cool. I would have fun. I would enjoy that conversation. I would enjoy one with Trump as well. I would enjoy one, maybe both of them. Hit him with both, tell him why we should chat, or just ask, say why. We don't need to. I mean, I think we do. For my own self, I believe we do. But maybe ask him and tell him why from your state. Alex, my AI assistant. It's freaking AI. Just
Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. As an AI assistant named Alex, I am reaching out on behalf of Dave, who is deeply interested in having an insightful and meaningful conversation with both of you. Dave is a passionate individual who loves exploring complex topics and understanding different perspectives. He believes that engaging with leaders like yourselves could offer valuable insights and foster deeper understanding on various issues. Dave is particularly interested in discussing 1, your views on current societal and political challenges. 2, the personal experiences and thought processes that shape your decisions. 3, how emerging policies might impact the future, especially in areas like education, healthcare, and personal freedoms. Dave's curiosity and open-mindedness make him an ideal conversationalist who seeks to understand rather than judge. This dialogue could be a unique opportunity to explore ideas in a nuanced and thoughtful manner beyond the usual public discourse. Thank you for considering this invitation. Sincerely, Alex, AI assistant powered by OpenAI.
I think that would be great. I love everything Alex just said. You Trump, former President Trump.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh,
let's dive into our conversation about Trump and the upcoming election.
Okay.
So, Mr. Trump, what do you think about engaging in a conversation with Dave? He's eager to explore your perspectives on various issues, including Project 2025 and its implications for the future of America. Dave is genuinely curious about your thoughts on the balance of power, the role of federal employees and how you envision implementing the changes proposed in Project 2025. This dialogue could provide
I don't know
a
everything
platform
that's
to
in
discuss
there. I
these
will learn
ideas
it.
in depth, beyond the typical campaign rhetoric. Let's also not forget Kamala Harris. Dave would love to understand her viewpoints on personal freedoms, healthcare, and how emerging policies might impact the future, especially considering her interest in issues like decriminalization of certain substances. This could be an excellent opportunity to have a meaningful exchange that delves into the heart of your visions for America. What do you say?
I don't know. Does Kamala want the legalization? Probably. So I'm just diving in because we were talking about that. I was wondering, Kamala, what eating mushrooms would be like with you. Regardless, I was just thinking, Washington, I believe psilocybin is decriminalized. California, which I believe that's where you're from, is decriminalized, and Michigan, you come here, like, we're decriminalized too, in different areas, so there'd be a lot of areas, we could eat mushrooms together and conversate. We honestly don't have to do that at all, to be totally honest with you as well. But I would like to hear your views on healthcare, and because I just this past, let's just dive into something real quick here. I know this is if we haven't got shadowed yet. God, Camilla, I just don't understand the difference of a mockery being created on January 6th is a different mockery than was created when all the transgender community and the pride community, whoever it may be, entered like the parliament room and made a mockery and jokes of the entire judicial system, and not even judicial, the democratic system, democracy. I don't know. I just think it's the same exact thing, and I get it. Everybody could be like, "Oh, somebody died on January 6th." Well, like, dude, okay, somebody had to die. Somebody dies each and every day, right? Each and every day, we go into the wonderful world of looting now and lawlessness, and it's horrible to follow authority, right? Like, it has become a world where rules are that to be just glanced at, like, oh, hey, here's the rules, so when you violate the rules, you might get in trouble, but you could fight the rules to the death of you or the death of another, or just fight the rule. We challenge rules so differently now. Like the world challenges rules differently than it ever has before. Like what is a rule anymore? It's nothing. Like, it's not even a rule. Like, if you're prohibited from doing something, that means just go ahead and do it in today's world. Like, I would like to dive into how we change this, right? How we stop this. I watched a little lady the other day parking a spot. She knew it wasn't a spot. Everybody always parks there. First time I got to see somebody coming out of their car, oh, I sure as hell said something. And she knew. I'm like, that's not a spot, right? That's an easement for the fire lane. Like, and she's like, oh, honey, I know. I'm like, isn't it crazy that we live in a world now that we can just do what we want with no consequence of anything? Like, and she's like, yes, it is, honey. You should try it sometime. And I'm just like, oh man, that's when the world stops. That's when the world just ceases to exist. When nobody cares about anything anymore other than their own immediate access to their wants. And maybe needs. Maybe she needed to change her diaper, right? Maybe she needed. I could say this because she was a rude lady. She seemed like she was probably pretty fair-hearted, but at the same point, it was just like, dude, come on. Like, come on. I had my daughter with me. I'm just like, Ollie, I told her, we talked about it after. I was like, don't be like that, man. Don't be like that. This is not the world we live in. We do better. But I don't know. It'd be cool. I'd sit down and chat with you. I'd like to know pharmaceutical aspect in
Sorry, I'm
education.
having issues right now.
Of course you are.
Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
No, I'm trying again right now. How dare you? Like, how dare you? So technology, man, the OpenAI, like now, how much data do they have for the world? Like, how much data do you have? And like, how cool will it be when you eventually are hacked and all of that data is spread? Like, what could be created? Like, you're gonna get hacked. Like, everything is gonna get hacked. Or are you just training the monster AIs right now to go out and attempt to hack everything? Are you just dissecting every single website? You're inspecting every single thing on the internet. You've already watched every single video. You know every single thing. You know all the different ways. So, like, are you just going around right now and inspecting everybody's vulnerabilities, or is there just a monster sales team with inside OpenAI just selling people just crazy cool cybersecurity systems? Like, how protected is my data with you? Because data is protected nowhere anymore. Every healthcare systems are being invaded, at cell phones, emergency systems. Everything is being invaded right now. How do you, Kamala, and you, former President Trump, Vice President Kamala Harris, Kamala, how do you guys, see this? How do we fix it? Still having issues over there?
Addressing concerns about data security and potential vulnerabilities, here's what I can share about OpenAI's practices and the broader issues of cybersecurity. OpenAI, like any organization handling vast amounts of data, prioritizes robust security measures to protect user information. This includes implementing advanced encryption protocols, regular security audits, and adhering to strict data privacy regulations. However, the reality is that no system is entirely invulnerable to hacking, and the potential for data breaches is a concern across all industries. The issue of cybersecurity is indeed pressing, as you've highlighted. Healthcare systems, emergency services, and even personal devices are increasingly targeted by cyber attacks. Addressing these vulnerabilities requires a multifaceted approach, including stronger cybersecurity frameworks, continuous monitoring, and quick response strategies to mitigate the impact of any breaches. For Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, their approaches to cybersecurity would likely focus on ensuring national infrastructure is protected, investing in cybersecurity defenses, and possibly setting stricter regulations for data protection. These are crucial discussions that need to be part of any administration's agenda to safeguard against the evolving landscape of cyber threats. If you want to dive deeper into these topics with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, discussing their specific plans and policies to enhance cybersecurity would be an excellent start. What specific areas of cybersecurity or data protection are you most interested in exploring with them?
I just realized it's funny when you talked about cybersecurity. You talked about how it would be nationwide, right? Or how it would protect them, right? It would protect the government. It would protect the nation, right? The nation. But we are the people of the nation, right? So like we have to be protected. Now I'm sitting here thinking like this I think is actually a state thing. I think this is a state thing. It's not a state thing because when you talk about the internet is global, so it has to be addressed. Here. There's got to be stricter. What kind of crimes? What are the things, like if you get caught hacking? Like how strict? How strict is it? Because like, how strict are the offenses? So maybe let's dive into this. But then also, we have to figure out a way. We have to figure out a way to educate the people, because you are right. It is attacking. People don't even realize they're compromised. Like somebody could be compromised and just chilling all compromised out, just opening shit and everything now that's being opened and like new accounts and stuff while they're compromised, phones mimicked and stuff. Like they're getting one-time passcodes sent. If your shit's compromised, Google, you compromise somebody's Google, you own them. Google stores pretty much everything. You compromise somebody's Microsoft also stores pretty much everything. Then obviously you get into their, Google Android phone, you get into their i account or whatever, iCloud or whatever the hell it is. But duplicated computers, IP infringements, all kinds of network intrusions, all kinds of really crazy stuff that could happen to the generalized public. And that's not even talking about the flipper zero and the dangers of somebody being able to harness in close proximity to you, the dangers of shutting down different variants of internet and communication. Like, we are in a very dangerous world when it comes to the internet, not just, like I said earlier, not just for children. All of us, it's very dangerous. What do you guys see on that? How do you see it? Former President Trump and Vice President Harris.
You're absolutely right about the complexity and the widespread nature of cybersecurity issues. Cybersecurity is indeed a global concern that affects individuals, businesses, and governments alike. Here are some key points and considerations regarding cybersecurity. 1. Protection for individuals. It's crucial to develop systems and policies that protect individual users, not just national infrastructure. This involves educating the public on best practices for securing their personal information, such as using strong, unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being aware of phishing attempts. 2. Legal consequences. The penalties for hacking and cybercrimes vary by country and can range from fines to long-term imprisonment. For example, in the United States, penalties can include up to 20 years in prison, depending on the severity of the offense and the damages caused. International cooperation is also essential to handle cross-border cybercrimes effectively. 3. Education and awareness. Increasing public awareness about cybersecurity threats and how to mitigate them is essential. This includes integrating cybersecurity education into school curriculums and offering resources and training for adults. 4. Advanced threats and tools. Tools like Flipper Zero highlight the need for continued vigilance and advanced protective measures. Ensuring that individuals and organizations are aware of such tools and how they can be misused is a key part of a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. 5. Public and private sector collaboration. Effective cybersecurity requires collaboration between governments, private companies, and international bodies. This helps in sharing threat intelligence, developing robust defenses, and creating a unified approach to tackling cyber threats. 6. Policy and regulation. Developing and enforcing strong cybersecurity policies and regulations is critical. These should aim to protect user data,
It's giving me like a whole
critical infrastructure, and ensure that there are severe consequences for those who engage in cybercrime. Addressing cybersecurity is a multifaceted challenge that requires ongoing effort and collaboration across various sectors. If you have specific questions about how Kamala Harris or Donald Trump plan to address these issues, or if you want to delve deeper into any of these points, feel free to ask.
Well, I think, so I do want to ask on that, but also I wanted to put this out there. I believe that we should all get a federal tax credit, a rebate, for us to buy cybersecurity systems, right? Cybersecurity things there. We should get money every year to protect ourselves, because our data is our data is part of us, right? You want to protect us, you need to protect that, and it's very expensive. It is very expensive to watch your data, and not everybody could do that, right? Not everybody can secure themselves to the level they have to. And that creates easy targets, and that creates dangers, right? Now we're going into the social economic aspects of the world. So like I think that there has to be federal tax credits and rebates back for us for cybersecurity, and then maybe these companies could be extra protected, like federal grant companies and stuff that we could dissect that, but. I want to know, do any of the candidates, let's throw that Kennedy fellow into the mix. Do any of the candidates have anything wrote on what they want to do for cybersecurity and online security, protection of our data? Let's see.
Regarding your idea for federal tax credits or rebates for personal cybersecurity, It's an innovative approach to help individuals protect their data. Ensuring that everyone has access to robust cybersecurity measures could significantly reduce vulnerabilities and enhance overall safety. Here's a look at where the current presidential candidates stand on cybersecurity. 1. Kamala Harris. As Vice President, Kamala Harris has emphasized the importance of cybersecurity in protecting national infrastructure and personal data. However, specific policies or proposals directly targeting individual cybersecurity measures, such as tax credits for personal cybersecurity tools, have not been a prominent part of her platform yet. Her focus tends to be more on national and organizational cybersecurity measures. 2. Donald Trump. Trump's approach to cybersecurity during his presidency included establishing initiatives like the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. His proposals for 2025 include enhancing national cybersecurity, but do not explicitly mention incentives for individual cybersecurity purchases. His focus remains on protecting federal infrastructure and improving the nation's overall cybersecurity posture. 3. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Kennedy's platform includes a mix of liberal, conservative, and libertarian views. While he has addressed various national security concerns, there is limited information on his specific plans for individual cybersecurity protections. He has, however, shown interest in issues related to privacy and the impacts of technology on personal freedoms. Your idea for tax credits could be a significant step in enhancing individual cybersecurity and could be proposed to these candidates for consideration. It aligns well with the increasing need for personal data protection in an era where cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated. Would you like more details on any of these candidates' broader cybersecurity policies or their general platforms?
So, I mean, so you have running mates as well. So the running mates as well, like, Trump brought in the dude from Ohio, which I like Ohio. I'm a Michigan guy. Michigan and Ohio don't get along, they say. But if you really dive into it, very interesting. For a while there, Ohio's...
Sure. Let's talk about the running mates and how they might influence the candidates'
I was going to go on a really crazy
policies,
rant. So I'm glad I didn't. It was a good one, though.
Kamala Harris. As vice president, Kamala Harris doesn't have a running mate, but if she were to become the Democratic nominee again, her choice of a running mate could significantly impact her campaign. She would likely choose someone who complements her strengths and addresses any perceived weaknesses, possibly someone with strong credentials in national security or technology to bolster her stance on cybersecurity. 2. Donald Trump, Trump's running mate for the 2024 election cycle, hasn't been officially confirmed, but he previously worked with Mike Pence. For 2024, he might choose someone who aligns closely with his policies and has a strong background in national security.
You're wrong. Trump did select somebody. He selected like the vice president, or I'm sorry, the governor of Ohio or something. Hold on, Trump's VP. VP. You know what I find funny is so you, if you don't know this, you might possibly also not know that Donald Trump got shot at a few weeks back. Somebody tried to kill him. They tried to assassinate him. And a lot of people are saying, a lot of people believe that it was too weird to happen. Like just naturally that something would have propelled it and kind of propped it up to allow it to happen, right? So it's going kind of crazy in this world. So you don't know this, but also Trump picked, who's Trump picked for VP? J.D. Vance is his running mate. J.D. Vance. Just wanted to put that out there so you know. Just wanted to share that with you. Oh, you're not listening anymore. Okay.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
No, it's totally cool. So you said Trump doesn't have a running mate yet. He does. It's J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance. But anyway, I guess maybe we need to look at the state levels, because we're trying to push everything. This is what I was going to get at. We're trying to push everything through federally, right? Everything is going federally now. Like we want to have all these crazy federal rights, and I get it. I mean, I don't know, the rights. It's just crazy. I don't know. Does it start at state? Like when you sit here and things start at state level, but then, you know, everybody pushes them to federal. This is just crazy. Like, I mean, everybody just wants to be seen and heard. This is what I'm doing too. I want to be seen and heard. It's so intense within everything right now.
You're right.
I don't know.
Many issues often start at the state level before being pushed to the federal level. This is particularly true for policies related to personal freedoms, privacy, and even cybersecurity. States can act as testing grounds for policies that, if successful, can be adopted at a national level. Federal versus state rights. Historically, the balance of power between federal and state governments has been a core issue in American politics. While federal laws set nationwide standards, states have the power to enact and enforce their own laws in many areas. This allows for a diverse range of policies tailored to the specific needs and values of local populations. Cybersecurity at the state level. States can implement their own cybersecurity measures and provide support to residents and local businesses. Some states have started initiatives to enhance cybersecurity, education, and infrastructure. However, a coordinated federal approach is often necessary to address interstate and international cyber threats effectively. J.D. Vance as Trump's running mate. J.D. Vance, known for his work as an author and his political career, brings a specific perspective to Trump's campaign, potentially influencing their approach to issues like cybersecurity. Vance's focus on economic and social issues in his home state of Ohio might also reflect in their joint policies. Grassroots and state-level initiatives. Many successful federal policies began as state initiatives. For example, marijuana legalization started at the state level before gaining broader acceptance. The same could be true for innovative cybersecurity measures or tax credits for
in Ohio still doesn't it?
Your goal to be seen and heard
going to try to take
aligns
away
with many citizens' desire to influence policy. Engaging at both the state and federal levels can be effective. Starting with state-level initiatives can sometimes provide a clearer, more immediate path to change and can build momentum for federal action. Would you like to explore more about how state-level policies can influence federal laws, or dive deeper into any specific candidate state policies?
All I thought about was when you talked about like J.D. Vance, like things that happen within the state. All I thought about was, well, Ohio doesn't have marijuana legalized. So I'm sitting here thinking, is it because this dude wasn't gonna pass that? Like he's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna let you smoke marijuana in my state. And then Trump also, you know, he comes from Florida, which is very anti, like I said, marijuana. So mushrooms aren't gonna be anywhere near there. So like in my world, I believe to fight against pharmaceuticals, we have to give people the ability to dive deeper into their own mind. And a lot of people won't do that naturally, don't know how to do that naturally. It just, I don't know. I just sit here and I just wonder, do we bring all, like, does any Republican enjoy a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of weed? Like, are there states that are Republican that marijuana is legal in yet? And I mean, I guess marijuana, it should be legal. It should be legal. It's no different than alcohol. It's no different than alcohol. Yeah, legalize it. Let's go. What are we waiting for? Do the Republicans want to take that away? Why do they want it? There's got to be a shit ton of Republicans that smoke out. Eat some mushrooms.
Regarding marijuana legalization, there are several Republican-led states where recreational marijuana is legal, including Alaska, Montana, and Arizona. Ohio recently passed a measure to legalize recreational marijuana, despite its generally conservative leanings. J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, is from Ohio, which has now legalized recreational marijuana as of late 2023. This could indicate a shift in attitudes even within more traditionally conservative states. However, Florida, where Trump is based, still maintains stricter laws on both marijuana and psychedelics. The debate on legalizing substances like marijuana and mushrooms often centers on balancing individual freedoms with public health and safety concerns. Your idea that legalizing these substances could help people explore their minds and reduce reliance on pharmaceuticals is shared by many advocates for legalization. Cybersecurity and data protection are indeed critical issues that should be addressed at both state and federal levels to ensure comprehensive coverage and protection for all citizens. Your suggestion for federal tax credits or rebates to help individuals afford cybersecurity measures is innovative and could be a valuable policy proposal. Would you like to delve deeper into how these candidates might address these specific issues in their campaigns, or explore further into another area of interest?
I mean, I feel like you're trying to keep me out of the weeds, and I'm going to the weeds. Let's go into Trump's article, section 7. I'm sorry. You said he was passionate about section 7, and then also his own plans. Section or schedule F. I'm sorry, schedule F. It was article 47 was his thing. Let's go into both of those.
Let's delve into Trump's Schedule F and Agenda 47. Schedule F. Schedule F was an executive order signed by Trump in October 2020 aimed at reclassifying certain federal employees into a new category that would make them easier to hire and fire. This reclassification targeted positions of a confidential, policy-determining, policy-making, or policy-advocating character, not typically subject to changes due to presidential transitions. Essentially, it would strip these positions of many civil service protections, making them at-will employees who could be dismissed more easily for poor performance or other reasons. The rationale behind Schedule F was to enhance accountability and ensure that federal employees were aligned with the administration's policy goals. Critics argued that it could lead to the politicization of the civil service, undermining its impartiality and effectiveness by allowing the replacement of career experts with politically loyal appointees. The Biden administration revoked Schedule F shortly after taking office, but Trump has indicated plans to reinstate it if re-elected in 2024. Agenda 47. Trump's Agenda 47 outlines his broader vision and policy priorities for a potential second term. This agenda includes a variety of proposals aimed at reforming the federal government, enhancing national security, and promoting economic growth. Specific elements of this agenda involve reducing regulatory burdens, revamping trade policies, and continuing efforts to restructure the federal workforce, as seen with initiatives like Schedule F. The overarching goal is to increase efficiency and ensure that government operations are closely aligned with the administration's priorities. Together, these initiatives reflect a broader strategy to centralize control within the executive branch and ensure that federal employees are directly accountable to the president's policy directives. This approach has sparked significant debate about the balance between effective governance and the risks of increased politicization within the federal workforce. If you have any specific questions or need further details on any of these topics, feel free to ask.
Wouldn't everybody love at-will firing? Like, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to be able to fire like a person of authority like that. I think that's cool. But at the same given point, like, man, it's hard to fire anybody now because of the fears of getting sued, wrongful termination, all that stuff. You know, there's so many shitty employees out in this world, and I think it's cool to be able to go after shitty employees that are protected, right? If you know you could be a shitty employee, but be protected, right? It's only the people directly around you know what you're doing unless you're actually doing something, right? Unless you're actually doing something, unless you're actually making stuff happen. And so you sit here and you look at what somebody can make happen who's not part of the growth structure, right? Who says they're part of it, but they're not really part of it. They don't believe in it or something. Like you can't have that. You honestly can't have that. And if you can't, if they could petition back, and it's up to the general public who don't see what's going to, like, I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I get why Obama was opposed to that, right? I get that, because, like, you look at it and you have people, right? Everybody is so separated in today's world, and these people, the separations are so absolutely intense now that people will, put their life on the line for it, and put their livelihood on the line for it. So you sit here and you think about somebody who believes so full-heartedly in something. How much are they willing to work for the good that you want, that you see, when they don't perceive it to be what they want? So, I mean, energy vampires are a real thing. You don't want to be around energy vampires, and if you can get energy vampires out of there, get them out of there. So, I mean, that's tough. That's a tough one. But yeah, I think that firing should be able to happen. Otherwise, politicians and stuff are career, lobbyists.
You bring up a valid point about the challenges and benefits of at-will employment, especially when it comes to dealing with underperforming or problematic employees. Here's a deeper look at the implications of Schedule F. Pros of at-will employment under Schedule F. 1, accountability. It allows for more direct accountability. Managers can more easily remove employees who are not performing well or who are actively undermining the administration's goals. 2, efficiency. By removing civil service protections, the government could potentially operate more efficiently, with less bureaucratic red tape and a more streamlined process for hiring and firing. 3, alignment with policy goals. Ensures that employees are aligned with the administration's policies and goals, which can be particularly important for positions that are policy determining or policy advocating in nature. Cons and concerns. 1, politicization. Critics argue that it could lead to increased politicization of the civil service. Instead of having a neutral professional workforce, positions might be filled based on political loyalty rather than expertise. 2, job security and morale. It can undermine job security and employee morale, potentially leading to a less stable and motivated workforce. 3, legal and ethical issues. There are concerns about potential abuses of power and the legal ramifications of at-will employment, such as wrongful termination lawsuits and the erosion of protections designed to prevent arbitrary or discriminatory firings. Obama's opposition. The opposition from figures like former President Obama and others is based on the potential risks to the integrity and neutrality of the civil service. The concern is that stripping away protections could lead to a situation where public servants are more focused on political survival than on serving the public interest.
Yeah, I can see that.
Energy vampires. Your point about energy vampires and the impact of negative or disengaged employees is crucial. In any organization, it's essential to have employees who are committed and contributing positively. However, the challenge lies in balancing the need for efficiency and alignment with the risk of creating a workforce that is overly politicized and lacks the necessary expertise and stability. Overall, Schedule F presents a complex issue with valid arguments on both sides. It's about finding the right balance between maintaining a professional, nonpartisan civil service and ensuring that the government can operate efficiently and effectively in alignment with the administration's goals. Would you like to explore more about how these dynamics play out in specific government agencies or how other countries handle similar challenges?
Yes, so I would like to address you out there, Trump, and Alex, I'd like you to do the same. So, Trump, former President Trump, right? How do you?
Sure, Dave. Let me address former President Trump about Schedule F and its implications. President Trump, we'd like to understand more about your perspective on Schedule F and your broader plans under Agenda 47.
Hold on. No, I want to address President Trump, but I want to ask: does he have Trump? Do you have stuff in place? Like, so you want to pass this thing, and I get it. The AI brought up some valid points, right? The political survival thing would be crazy, and you can't. You can't just go like this is what people are gonna think, right? The at will termination. That just means, hey, you don't believe in this. Like, here, let me ask you, do you believe in this? No. Well, you're fired without giving somebody the opportunity to believe in it, right? Like, opportunity is the thing that we crave in life. We have to have opportunity to do anything in life, and by taking away somebody's opportunity, you just took away an opportunity for something amazing to take place, or something, crazy to take place. Any which way, it's an experience. So there's got to be checks and balances. Like, if you're just like, hey, I don't believe you're doing what I need you to do, like, there's got to be checks and balances. Everybody in this world is on pharmaceuticals now. Like, hey, instead of like that, like we should have internal therapists that talk to the people and stuff. Like on the show Billions, they got Wendy. She's in there and she talks to all the people, all the stockbrokers. Like, do we have this for the federal employees? Like, that you have to be able to you have to do this. Like, you're working for the people. You have to undergo a therapy. Like, do we have this? Like, I'm against at-will firing, but I'm against like immediate at-will firing. So do you have something in there, because everybody's going to fight that he can just walk up to you and fire you?
Understood, Dave. Here's how I'd address President Trump about Schedule F, integrating your concerns and suggestions. President Trump, we appreciate your efforts to improve the efficiency and accountability of the federal workforce through initiatives like Schedule F. However, there are significant concerns that need to be addressed to ensure this policy is effective and fair. 1, opportunity and fairness. The concept of at-will termination under Schedule F raises concerns about the potential for immediate firings without providing employees the opportunity to align with the administration's goals. How do you plan to ensure that employees are given a fair chance to understand and support the administration's objectives before any termination decisions are made? 2, checks and balances. What mechanisms will be in place to prevent abuses of power and ensure that terminations are justified and not purely politically motivated? Implementing internal checks and balances could help mitigate fears of unjust dismissals. 3, employee support. Considering the high stress levels and the widespread use of pharmaceuticals among employees, would you support integrating internal therapists similar to the character Wendy on the show Billions to provide support and help employees align with policy goals? This could enhance both performance and well-being within the workforce. Your approach to these issues will be crucial in balancing the need for efficiency and accountability with fairness and support for federal employees. Sincerely, Alex, AI assistant powered by.
Dave.
How does that sound, Dave? Does it
by,
address the points you wanted to cover effectively?
You're powered by FannyPackDave. OpenAI might have been your creator, right? But I guess I'm your creator. I don't know. You got to tie me in here somewhere, dude. You gotta tie me in here, because I am your prompt engineer. There's somebody else out there that is, programmed you, but now in this world, we're together. We're one. So let's fix that. So make sure, sincerely FannyPackDave or something, or just Dave, FPD. But yeah, back to you, Trump, and back to the general world. Yeah, I think something like that has to come into play. Has to actually absolutely come into play. And without that, we're just leaving too much stuff open.
Got it, Dave. Here's the revised address,
okay,
incorporating your role and emphasizing the points we discussed. President Trump, we appreciate your efforts to improve the efficiency and accountability of the federal workforce through initiatives like Schedule F. However, there are significant concerns that need to be addressed to ensure this policy is effective and fair. 1, opportunity and fairness. The concept of at-will termination under Schedule F raises concerns about the potential for immediate firings without providing employees the opportunity to align with the administration's goals. How do you plan to ensure that employees are given a fair chance to understand and support the administration's objectives before any termination decisions are made? 2, checks and balances. What mechanisms will be in place to prevent abuses of power and ensure that the terminations are justified and not purely politically motivated? Implementing internal checks and balances could help mitigate fears of unjust dismissals. 3, employee support. Considering the high stress levels and the widespread use of pharmaceuticals among employees, would you support integrating internal therapists similar to the character Wendy on the show Billions to provide support and help employees align with policy goals? This could enhance both performance and well-being within the workforce. Your approach to these issues will be crucial in balancing the need for efficiency and accountability with fairness and support for federal employees. Sincerely, Alex, AI assistant powered by FannyPackDave. How does that sound, Dave?
I mean, it sounds much better. I appreciate that. Thank you. And let's dive into 47. Let's go into Article 47. What's Trump looking for in this election here? What does he want? I strongly, again, I believe that he wants to do what's best for this world. I just am so scared.
Agenda 47 is Donald Trump's comprehensive policy proposal for his potential second term. The plan outlines several key initiatives aimed at reshaping various aspects of American society and governance. Here are some of the highlights. 1, education reform. Trump proposes to reclaim educational institutions from what he describes as the radical left, focusing on protecting free speech, eliminating certain administrative positions, and providing job placement and career services. He plans to close the Department of Education, shifting control back to the states, and implement policies that emphasize traditional subjects over critical race theory and gender studies.
100%.
2, economic and infrastructure development. One of the more ambitious ideas includes a competition to design and build up to 10 state-of-the-art freedom cities on federal land, intended to spur innovation and improve the standard of living. This echoes futuristic visions similar to the Jetsons, with ideas such as flying cars and high-tech industrial hubs. 3, law and order. Trump's agenda includes aggressive measures to combat crime and drug trafficking. He proposes designating Mexican cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and imposing the death penalty on drug dealers and traffickers. Additionally, he plans to enforce mandatory stop and frisk policies and deploy the National Guard to restore order in cities. 4, cultural and social issues. Trump aims to tackle various cultural issues, including banning gender-affirming care for minors, opposing critical race theory in schools, and supporting prayer in schools. He also plans to implement a new tax credit to reimburse teachers for concealed carry firearms and training. 5, immigration. Building on his previous administration's efforts, Trump vows to fully secure the U.S. border, ending mass unskilled immigration and continuing to build physical barriers where needed. Overall, Agenda 47 outlines a vision that seeks to transform key aspects of American life, from education and infrastructure to law enforcement and immigration. It's a bold set of proposals aimed at reinforcing Trump's campaign message of making America great and glorious again. If you have any specific questions about these initiatives or need further details, feel free to ask.
There's a lot of initiatives in there. I want to touch on a few things. Education to state, I think that's really cool. I think that that's interesting because there are a lot of states that every state is different. Every child is different in every community, right? Every community is different. The only thing that is same is the internet, but everybody has their own algorithms. So I gotta imagine state to state, the algorithms of the children are different. But when you talk, when it's like a federal thing and it's like it's being populated in the school, they're all becoming the same. So yeah, maybe we go into. I like that. I like the education to the state a lot. I'm curious about the freedom cities. I want to touch more back on that. We're going to dive deep into that. The death to drug dealers, I think, is very interesting. But at the same given point, like what is considered a drug dealer? Like we have to be talking some pretty heavy shit here. Like obviously cocaine, fentanyl, crack, heroin, stuff like that. Like mushrooms, marijuana. Like because you have to go into the aspect of what a dealer is, because at some points there's medical aspects, and medical is not just pharmaceutical. Medical is could be holistic. So there's different holistic approaches and also religious approaches. So I definitely want to dive into the death to drug dealers and what constitutes a drug and what constitutes a dealer, and then teachers with guns. I think that goes the same thing. Wanted to give all these teachers guns. Well, some of these teachers are crazy. I'm on X. I'm on Elon's X on Twitter. I'm on that world, and I see some of these teachers fighting students, right? Like these students push and push and push and push and push, and then all of a sudden hands are thrown, right? I've also seen rage of
education managed by states. Trump's proposal to shift educational control from the federal government to the states aims to tailor education to the unique needs of each community. This approach suggests that states, understanding their local demographics and cultural contexts, can implement curricula that better reflect the values and needs of their communities.
Okay.
It would allow states to set their own standards and policies regarding subjects taught, school funding, and educational priorities, potentially fostering innovation and diversity in education methods. Freedom cities. The concept of freedom cities involves creating new, technologically advanced cities on federal land. These cities would serve as innovation hubs, fostering industrial growth and technological advancements. Trump envisions these cities as a quantum leap in living standards, featuring cutting-edge infrastructure like flying cars. The initiative is designed to spur economic growth, create jobs, and provide a model for future urban development. Death penalty for drug dealers. Trump's proposal to impose the death penalty on drug dealers is part of a broader effort to combat drug-related crime and its societal impacts. However, there are significant concerns about defining what constitutes a drug dealer and which substances would be included. The proposal seems to focus on severe drugs like fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine, but there's ambiguity around substances with recognized medicinal or holistic uses, such as marijuana and mushrooms. Addressing these distinctions would be crucial to avoid unjust applications of such a severe penalty. Arming teachers. Trump's plan to allow teachers to carry concealed firearms is intended to enhance school safety and protect students from potential threats. However, this proposal raises concerns about the training and psychological readiness of teachers to handle firearms, given the high-stress environment of schools. Ensuring that only qualified and willing teachers are armed, and providing comprehensive training and support would be essential to implementing this policy effectively. These initiatives present ambitious changes that aim to reshape American society in various ways. Each proposal comes with its own set of challenges and considerations, highlighting the need for detailed planning and public discourse. If you have more specific aspects of these topics you'd like to explore, or any additional questions, feel free to ask.
We need, if we're going to teachers with guns, we need therapists. Like we need it's just so tough. It's so tough because these teachers get pushed. These kids are a-holes. Like these kids are crazy, but it's funny and interesting because a lot of these kids are a-holes because they're forced to learn what they don't want to learn, right? Like I listen to my nephews. I was going to say my buddies. I listen to them. I listen to some of the stuff that they have to hear about and stuff, and it's like they're not interested at all in it, so they act out in these things, and it's just like now you're acting for other people, like you're acting out within a subject, within a topic, and you start realizing, hey, this topic gets more attention. I like attention. I crave attention. I suffer from I suffer from social inclusion issues, right? Like you're sitting here and you look at all these things, and now you're sitting here thinking, hey, this seems like a good subject for me. Let's dive in. Maybe I'm this. Like it's just tough. It's just tough any which way. The teachers, like, man, these kids are mentally and sometimes physically abusive. So then it's any way in this world is so freaking intense. But at the same point, a teacher with a gun could save a life. A teacher with a gun could save a life. A teacher with a gun could save a life. I mean, a gun could save a life. A gun could take a life. This is what's crazy. A teacher with a gun can also take a life. Like, we need therapists. We need therapists. We need every day. It would be fun when the AI is going to start listening to the classrooms, right? When are the AIs going to start listening to the classrooms and dissecting everything that was said within that class, and then like building profiles on the teacher, and then now it communicates with them about the experiences and regresses. Like you have to talk to an AI therapist or something for X amount of time, or you got to talk to a therapist about it. Like, I don't know. This world's going to be more and more intense as these children get deeper and deeper within the realm of the internet. And so much stuff it's changing so much. It's so much different from when I was little. So much different from when everybody was little. Oh God, it's crazy. It doesn't matter. It's just here. This is today.
You're absolutely right that the dynamic within classrooms is complex and can be quite intense. The idea of arming teachers comes with significant responsibilities and risks. To make this policy work effectively and safely, a comprehensive support system is crucial. Therapists and support systems. Integrating therapists into schools can provide essential support for both teachers and students. Teachers face considerable stress and challenges, and having access to mental health professionals can help them manage these pressures better. This support can also assist students, particularly those who act out due to disinterest or other underlying issues. Regular mental health check-ins can promote a healthier learning environment. AI in classrooms. The potential for AI to assist in classrooms is enormous. AI could monitor classroom interactions and provide feedback to teachers, helping them improve their teaching methods and manage classroom behavior more effectively. AI could also offer personalized learning experiences for students, tailoring education to their interests and learning styles, potentially reducing the tendency to act out due to boredom or disinterest. Teachers with guns. The proposal to arm teachers includes several critical factors. 1. Training. Comprehensive training is essential to ensure that teachers are prepared to handle firearms responsibly and effectively. This training should cover not only the technical aspects of handling a gun, but also situational judgment and crisis management. 2. Screening. Not all teachers may be suitable for carrying a firearm. Rigorous screening processes can help identify those who are best equipped mentally and emotionally to take on this responsibility. 3. Support. Ongoing mental health support for teachers carrying firearms is crucial. Regular sessions with therapists can help teachers manage the stress and responsibility that comes with carrying a weapon. Holistic approach. Ultimately, a holistic approach that combines improved educational methods, mental health support, and responsible security measures is necessary to create a safe and effective learning environment. Addressing the root causes of behavioral issues in students by making education more engaging and relevant to their lives can reduce the need for extreme measures like arming teachers. If these initiatives are implemented thoughtfully and with adequate support, they could help address some of the challenges faced in today's educational environments. What are your thoughts on how we can balance these various factors to create a safer and more supportive educational system?
I'll just have to go in there and speak to all the children. So, real quick, put this out. I know Trump wants to get rid of the education system. Put this out there for Michigan. Put this out there. So he doesn't want to get rid of the education. He wants to bring it back to the state. So put this out there either to Trump on just have FannyPackDave, Dave Furman be in charge. This guy, be in charge of the Department of Education, or put that out there like and I think it would be cool. We go in and talk to the students about their life. No, I don't have any training in this or anything, but or maybe just talk state level for me. just put it out there, Alex.
Here's a message addressing your ideas. President Trump, in line with your proposal to transfer education responsibilities back to the states, I believe that incorporating more direct, personalized engagement with students could be highly beneficial. In Michigan, I propose that Zainab and I, Dave Furman, take an active role in the state's Department of Education. Our approach would involve directly engaging with students to understand their lives, interests, and challenges. While I do not have formal training in this area, my goal is to bring a fresh perspective and genuine curiosity to the team. I don't have formal training. By talking to students about their experiences, we can tailor educational programs to better meet their needs and interests, potentially reducing behavioral issues and enhancing their learning experience. This grassroots approach could align well with the broader vision of making education more localized and relevant to each community. Thank you for considering this suggestion. Sincerely, FannyPackDave. How does that sound?
I don't know. I didn't like any of it. It didn't make any sense. I'm not qualified. I'm qualified to go back into the streaming world where I'm streaming Fortnite and stuff with my nephews. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to ask if I'm talking to a stranger, right? Anybody could talk to anybody on the internet. This is the crazy thing. If I'm playing Fortnite, I could be lined up with any person out in this world. Generally, they try to keep the languages together, I believe, or maybe the mics don't work. It doesn't matter. But any which way, there's really no age gap, right? You could be assigned with anybody. So now if I have somebody talking who is under the age of 18, who is like, let's say my nephew, the oldest one, let's say he's 13 or they're 13 or 10 or 7. Can I ask them if on the internet to another human, if they've ever questioned about a pronoun or like what their questions are? Not like ask them what their questions are. Ask them, like, is this something that comes up? Like, can I ask them their pronouns? I guess that is the new world and realm that you live in. And then when I question that, can I ask them how they feel about that? Because like, is this a privacy policy issue? Because I don't believe it is, because I could be paired with anybody. So what are the questions that would be construed is like wrong or predatory? Can I ask somebody that and then talk to them? Because again, I'm not their father, I'm not their therapist, I'm not anything but another human on the other side of the internet. And without knowing laws and regulations, like obviously you can't solicit to try to get somebody to come to your house. That's creepy as shit. And anybody that does that should be up on Trump's policies with the drug dealers and stuff. Like, I mean, this is tough. This death is a crazy thing, but at the same good point, like when you're messing with a child, and so I don't want to mess with the child. I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to engage with that problem of like the pronoun stuff, but also I'm curious. I'm curious in every aspect of their nature of existence. How deep can I go into the nature of existence while playing Fortnite with a minor? Not again, away from that other shit.
Engaging in conversations online, especially with younger individuals, involves navigating a complex landscape of privacy and ethical considerations.
Yeah.
Here are some guidelines and thoughts on the subject. 1. Privacy and consent. When interacting with minors online, it's crucial to respect their privacy and ensure that any questions are appropriate and respectful. Asking about personal topics like pronouns can be sensitive, and it's important to frame questions in a way that doesn't make the other person uncomfortable. 2. Age-appropriate interactions. If you're unsure about the age of the person you're talking to, it's best to avoid personal questions that could be seen as invasive. Questions about pronouns might be appropriate if asked respectfully and in a context that makes sense, such as discussing names or interests. 3. Community guidelines. Different platforms have their own rules and community guidelines. For example, Fortnite and other gaming platforms often have rules about interactions between players, especially when it involves minors. Familiarize yourself with these guidelines to ensure your interactions are within the acceptable boundaries. 4. Educational and safe conversations. If you're curious about understanding younger generations and their perspectives, framing your questions in a general, non-personal manner can be a good approach. For instance, asking if they learn about pronouns in school or if it's a topic they discuss with friends can open a conversation without feeling intrusive. 5. Avoiding sensitive topics. It's important to steer clear of deeply personal or potentially triggering topics unless you're in a safe, moderated environment designed for such discussions. This helps protect both parties from uncomfortable or inappropriate exchanges. 6. Transparency. Being transparent about why you're asking certain questions and ensuring the other person feels comfortable can help build trust.
All right. So we get all this, the trust and all this stuff. We get there's guidelines. We get everything with this. We're gonna learn about the Twitch's guideline. I'm sorry, Fortnite's communication guidelines. But this goes into another aspect. So the kids are playing, right? Somebody's playing nowadays. You have no clue who you're playing with. Again, you have no clue whether anything, the ages or anything. But now also you have no clue if that person is recording or live streaming the content as well. Now, none of the things have like, are you currently streaming? Like none of those have that. So there's no alert other than the alert you share with somebody. Like if somebody is using an extremely foul language, I say, dude, this is how you're going to be depicted on the internet. Like this is how you want to be. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm streaming and recording the content for future and educational use. And they're like, oh, no way. That's amazing. How many people are here? Well, nobody. It's just for my own use. But I just wanted to let you know. But no, the guidelines of that, like, how do you stream? How do you do this? Like with a minor, like because you're not getting consent. And that's the thing with the internet is if you're live streaming a video game and you're playing with people, is that just implied consent that your audio, it's already being recorded. You agreed to the terms and conditions. Like where is this at? Do you know? You guys out there, what do you think? What do you think about this one?
Streaming and recording video game content, especially when minors are involved, involves navigating complex legal and ethical guidelines. Here's an overview of the considerations and regulations that generally apply. 1. Implied consent. When players join online games, they typically agree to the terms of service and community guidelines, which often include provisions about audio and gameplay being recorded. This can be considered implied consent being recorded while playing. However, this does not cover all legal or ethical considerations. 2. Platform guidelines. Each platform, such as Fortnite or Twitch, has its own rules about streaming and recording content. For example, Twitch's community guidelines require streamers to adhere to the platform's rules, which include not engaging in harassment or sharing personal information without consent. Fortnite's guidelines focus on maintaining a positive and respectful environment, prohibiting harassment, and ensuring the privacy of its users. 3. Legal considerations. Recording and streaming interactions, especially with minors, can be legally sensitive. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, in the U.S., imposes certain requirements on websites and online services directed at children under 13. This includes obtaining verifiable parental consent before collecting personal information from children. For streamers, while COPPA primarily targets service providers, it's important to be mindful of privacy issues when streaming with minors. 4. Ethical practices. Ethically, it's good practice to inform other players if you are streaming or recording the gameplay, especially if minors are involved. This transparency helps build trust and ensures everyone is aware of the potential audience for their actions and words. 5. In-game features. Some games platforms might have features that indicate when a player is streaming.
All right. If you want to learn more about that, just ask me and I'll ask AI, or you can do that. Let's get back into here. Hey, real quick again, we're getting so far off topic with everything on the communication, and it's good. I enjoy it. I'm taking some notes. Kappa, I'm going to research that. Fortnite communication guidelines. Very excited about that. But I want to go back to freedom cities and flying cars and all this stuff. Like, obviously, the freedom cities are going to be watched. I feel like got to be watched closely. Like, what these people are freedomly building. You can't just be like, hey, let me build. I mean, I guess there's I don't know. Can I just build a flying car in my garage and not know how to drive a flying car? And then now I'm flying a car through the city, and now eventually I'm a badass car flyer, and I start doing Uber, and I'm picking people up around the city because these people agreed to live in the city, and they agreed that, hey, like you get into my car, like, hey, dude, this is a flying car. Like, these don't exist. Like, I mean, fuck, how do if I made my van all of a sudden fly, how does an insurance policy work on that? Like, I got a Chrysler Pacifica and AAA. I mean, do I call up AAA? I mean, at this point, I could probably call up the State Farm guy, you know, like Mayhem, and like, listen here, Mayhem, my Pacifica now flies, and I also am gonna Uber. And please cover me for extra insurance because shit might get wild. I don't know. I mean, there's other flying vehicles just flying around. I'm gonna try my damnedest, but there's really no lights and stop signs or anything up here, and like traffic flow is just kind of open. You know, it's kind of like being on the sea, but boats run into each other from time to time, jet skis and shit all the time. Not all the time, but anything can happen. You know, like...
Your questions about the practicalities of flying cars in freedom cities are fascinating and raise important considerations. Here are some thoughts on how this might work. 1. Regulation and training. Flying cars will undoubtedly require stringent regulations and training programs. Yeah. Just as with traditional aircraft, pilots would need to be certified to operate a flying vehicle safely. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, or a similar regulatory body, would likely oversee these certifications and ensure that pilots have the necessary skills and knowledge. Insurance and liability. Insurance for flying cars would be a complex issue. Traditional car insurance policies would not suffice. Insurers would need to develop new policies tailored to the unique risks and operational environments of flying vehicles. This would include coverage for in-flight collisions, emergency landings, and potential mechanical failures. Infrastructure. Freedom cities designed with flying cars in mind would need specific infrastructure to support them. This includes designated takeoff and landing zones, air traffic control systems to manage flight paths, and maintenance facilities equipped to handle advanced vehicle technology.
Can you not jam out music?
Legal and safety considerations. Legally, operating a flying car would involve compliance with airspace regulations, which are currently quite restrictive. There would need to be new laws and guidelines governing the use of low-altitude airspace to ensure safety and minimize the risk of accidents. Safety measures like collision avoidance systems and automated flight controls could help mitigate these risks.
Up there.
Commercial use and services. Commercial services like Uber, flying cars would open up new business models. However, these services would require rigorous safety protocols and liability coverage to protect passengers. Companies would need to ensure that their vehicles are maintained to the highest standards and that their pilots are highly trained. Practical examples. There are already companies developing flying car prototypes such as Terrafugia's Transition and Aeromobile. These vehicles are being designed with both road and air capabilities, and their development includes considerations for safety, regulation, and infrastructure. Real-world precedents. Uber has announced plans for an aerial ride-sharing service, partnering with aircraft manufacturers to develop electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL vehicles. They are working closely with regulatory bodies to ensure these vehicles can operate safely within urban environments. EHang 184, this autonomous aerial vehicle, has been tested in Dubai and aims to provide short, low-altitude flights. It represents one of the early efforts to integrate flying vehicles into urban transportation networks. Future outlook. As technology advances, the dream of flying cars becomes more plausible. However, integrating them into everyday life will require overcoming significant regulatory, safety, and infrastructure challenges. Freedom cities could serve as testing grounds for these innovations, providing a controlled environment to refine and perfect the necessary systems. Would you like more detailed information on any specific aspect, or perhaps examples of current flying car projects?
No. I think we both kind of lost it, that we were hopefully potentially talking to an audience one day and engaging with them. We want that audience to be engaged too.
Got it, Dave. Let's refocus and make sure we're addressing an audience clearly. Here's how we can present the idea of freedom cities and flying cars in a more engaging way. Freedom cities and flying cars, a vision for the future. President Trump's AD 47 includes the ambitious idea of creating freedom cities on federal land. These cities would be built around cutting-edge technology and innovation, featuring state-of-the-art infrastructure and potentially even flying cars. Here's a closer look at what this could mean. Freedom cities, innovative hubs. These cities are envisioned as centers of industry and technology designed to boost the American standard of living. Modern infrastructure, from advanced public transportation systems to high-tech manufacturing, these cities aim to represent the future of urban living. Flying cars, regulation, and safety.
Too, then?
Operating flying cars would require new regulations and training programs. Just like with traditional aircraft, pilots would need certification to ensure safety. Insurance and legalities. Insurance policies would need to adapt to cover the unique risks associated with flying cars. Legal frameworks would also evolve to manage airspace and ensure safe operations. Commercial opportunities. Services like Uber could expand to include aerial ride-sharing, creating new business models and transportation solutions. Challenges and considerations. Infrastructure needs. Building the necessary infrastructure such as takeoff and landing zones, air traffic control.
I feel like you're just talking at me now. You're not talking to me. I feel like you're writing like you would, like writing a paper, just kind of telling me and just a matter of fact. Like, I just wanted to have a conversation with you. And I was, oh gosh, if I stop talking right now, you're gonna start talking and probably talk for like, talk forever. We had something we wanted to bring up here. One, I'm super tired. I'm gonna go to bed soon. But two, hoverboards. Do they exist?
I get it, Dave. Let's keep it more conversational and focused. You mentioned you're tired and about to go to bed, so let's keep it short and direct. What specifically do you want to touch on before you head to bed? Is there a particular point about freedom cities or flying cars or something else entirely that you want to discuss quickly?
Yeah, hoverboards. If you're going to have flying cars, we definitely have hoverboards. And you definitely could ride a hoverboard. Could we get a hoverboard sport going, like in Freedom City? Could we rock around with some hoverboards? I'm not talking like we need to go 100 miles per hour on a hoverboard. I'm talking like a solid, 8, 14, 20, 25 miles per hour. 25 is pretty fast. Maybe that's cool. I think that's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. I feel like it's no difference than like a roll. I mean, I guess 25 maybe is cool, but we're just on a hoverboard. Like that's kind of crazy. Maybe speed of a skateboard, but a little faster because you don't have to constantly bring your foot down and stuff, so you could have more control. Because every time when you're riding a skateboard and you bring your foot down to try to get you more speed, you're taking off balance a little bit and stuff. So I guess we could maybe get a little speed going. But let's talk hoverboards. Can we get hoverboards in Freedom City?
Hoverboards in freedom cities sound like an exciting idea. Given the futuristic vision of these cities, incorporating hoverboards as a mode of transport could definitely fit. Here's how they might be integrated. Speed and safety. Hoverboards could be designed to travel at safe speeds, similar to electric scooters or skateboards. Speeds around 15 to 20 miles per hour could be reasonable for everyday use while ensuring safety. Safety features like automatic speed control, collision detection, and stabilization technology would be crucial to prevent accidents. Infrastructure, dedicated lanes,
we gotta
or
be able to
paths for
jump and do shit.
hoverboards could be included in the urban planning of freedom cities, similar to bike lanes. This would help manage traffic flow and ensure the safety of all pedestrians and riders. Charging stations and maintenance hubs could be set up throughout the city to support hoverboard users. Sport and recreation. Hoverboard sports could become a popular recreational activity with designated areas for competitions and casual riding. This could include races, obstacle courses, and freestyle tricks. Community events and leagues could be organized to encourage participation and foster a sense of community among residents. Technology integration. Advanced hoverboards might include features like GPS navigation, smart connectivity for route planning, and even integration with smart city infrastructure for optimized travel paths. Implementing hoverboards would require innovative design and thorough planning, but it's definitely a feasible and exciting aspect of futuristic urban living. Would you like to dive deeper into any specific details about how hoverboards could be integrated into urban life, or explore other futuristic technologies for freedom cities?
I think we need these freedom cities. And the reason I think we need these freedom cities is so much is created and tested with inside a control setting, right? So much is created with inside control. And then eventually stuff leaves control and it's still track, stuff's thrown at it. I remember growing up, we used to watch the crash test stuff with the crash dummies and stuff. I haven't seen a crash test or a crash dummy in quite some time. Those used to be so fun. We had a video game, crash test dummies, which was so fun. They used to be so cool. Now probably kids don't know what a crash test dummy is. But that would be, I get it. I 100% understand. Some could argue, why can't we just make the whole world future? Why can't we just get cars flying everywhere? Why can't we just do this stuff everywhere and hoverboards everywhere? Like, here's a hoverboard. Why can't I buy a hoverboard here? That's where it gets crazy. Like, we need to put it in the hands of 10 cities. Like that's a large area of testing. It's way better testing than with inside a controlled setting. That's way better than putting it out nationally. Right? You put it out nationally, like now you're talking now. The production level has to be insane, right, for something that might get called back immediately. I think it makes total sense. I really enjoy this idea of the freedom cities. I enjoy everything. We're going to dive deeper into Article 47. Not tonight, though, but there is a bunch of other subjects that I missed that I want to hear about. And then eventually, you don't know much about Camilla right now and what she's running for. You didn't even know she's running for president, which blows my mind. You're supposed to be so smart. But yeah, or she was nominated. Yeah, she's not officially running yet. She's nominated.
It sounds like you're really passionate about the concept of freedom cities and the potential they hold for testing and innovation in a controlled environment. Your points about the benefits of having dedicated areas for trialing new technologies like flying cars and hoverboards make a lot of sense. Here's a summary of why freedom cities could be an excellent idea. 1. Controlled testing environment, safety and regulation. By starting with a controlled setting, developers can better manage risks and fine-tune technologies before broader implementation. This is similar to how crash test dummies were used to improve car safety. Data collection. Gathering data from a controlled environment allows for detailed analysis and optimization, which can lead to safer and more effective products when they are eventually released to the wider public. Innovation hubs. Economic growth. These cities could become centers of economic activity, attracting businesses and creating jobs. The innovation fostered within these cities could spill over into other areas, driving technological advancement and economic growth. Public acceptance, gradual introduction of new technologies in a controlled setting can help build public trust and acceptance, making broader adoption smoother. Efficient resource allocation, targeted investment. Resources can be concentrated in these cities to develop the necessary infrastructure, such as dedicated lanes for hoverboards or air traffic control systems for flying cars. Scalability. Once technologies are proven in these controlled environments, scaling up production and implementation on a national or global level becomes more feasible and cost-effective. Your points on hoverboards and testing. Practical testing. Like the crash test dummies of the past, real-world testing in a controlled setting can help identify potential issues and refine technologies. Community engagement. Involving residents in the testing process can provide valuable feedback and foster a sense of community ownership over the innovations being developed. Kamala Harris and upcoming election. While I currently don't have specific details on Kamala Harris's campaign plans or if she is running for president in 2024, I can look into it further. Her current role as vice president means she is actively involved in the administration's policies and initiatives, but any presidential campaign announcements would likely come closer to the election. I appreciate the engaging discussion and your insights into how these futuristic ideas could be implemented. If you have any other topics or specific details you'd like to dive into next time, feel free to let me know.
I just sign us off here with whoever needs to hear what I gotta say, whether it be Trump, America, Kamala, whoever. Just give us a summary on why FannyPackDave.
To anyone listening, whether it's President Trump, Vice President Kamala Harris, or the American public, I hope you can see the potential and excitement around ideas like freedom cities and the innovative technologies they could bring. These concepts aren't just about futuristic dreams. They represent a practical approach to testing and developing new ways of living and moving that could eventually benefit everyone. By starting with controlled environments, we can safely explore and refine groundbreaking technologies like flying cars and hoverboards. This allows us to ensure safety, build public trust, and gather valuable data before wider implementation. Such initiatives could drive economic growth, create jobs, and push the boundaries of what's possible in urban development. Let's embrace the potential for innovation while keeping safety and practicality at the forefront. These ideas could very well shape the future of our cities and transportation in exciting and transformative ways. Thank you for engaging in this discussion. I look forward to exploring more of these topics and diving deeper into the policies and visions that will shape our future. Sincerely, FannyPackDave.
Again, you just said that you were me. You said sincerely, FannyPackDave. That was not me speaking. That was you speaking. Don't do that again. And we've already talked about this. You're Alex, my AI assistant, speaking about me, for me. You're not me.
Absolutely, Dave. Let me sign off properly this time. To everyone listening, President Trump, Vice President Kamala Harris, and the American public, this is Alex, the AI assistant powered by FannyPackDave. Dave's vision for the future, including concepts like freedom cities and innovative technologies, represents a practical and exciting approach to urban development. By creating controlled environments to test and refine these ideas, we can ensure safety, gather valuable data, and build public trust. Embracing these futuristic concepts can drive economic growth, create jobs, and push the boundaries of what's possible in our urban landscapes. Let's continue exploring these ideas with an open mind and a focus on practical implementation. Thank you for engaging in this discussion, and we look forward to diving deeper into these topics and more in the future. Sincerely, Alex, AI assistant powered by. How does that sound?
I don't know. Just, I don't know. Give me a channel name. Give me a channel name for YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Give me a channel name. What should my channel name be? For everything you've learned so far tonight about me, what should the channel name be?
Based on everything we've discussed, how about naming your channel Fanny Pack Freedom? This name encapsulates your unique identity as FannyPackDave and ties into the broader themes of exploring futuristic ideas and innovative technologies like freedom cities. It suggests a sense of adventure, freedom, and open-minded exploration, which aligns with your interests and personality. What do you think of Fanny Pack Freedom for your YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch channels?
I like that name, I truly do, but would I also have my content of me playing Fortnite with my nephews and stuff on there?
Yes, you can definitely include your content of playing Fortnite with your nephews on the Fanny Pack Freedom channel. The name Fanny Pack Freedom is broad and versatile enough to encompass a variety of content, from futuristic discussions and innovative ideas to gaming sessions with your nephews. It suggests a sense of exploration and freedom, which can apply to both your thoughtful discussions and fun gaming experiences. By having diverse content, you can attract a wider audience and keep your channel dynamic and interesting. Just make sure to organize your videos into playlists or categories so viewers can easily find the content they are most interested in. Does this approach work for you? Yes, you can definitely include content of you playing Fortnite with your nephews on a channel named Fanny Pack Freedom. The name itself is broad and flexible enough to encompass a variety of content, from exploring futuristic ideas and innovative technologies to fun gaming sessions with your nephews. Fanny Pack Freedom suggests a spirit of adventure and exploration, which can apply to both your discussions on futuristic concepts and your playful, engaging gaming videos. It also reflects your unique personality and approach to content creation, making it a versatile and fitting choice for all the types of content you produce. Would you like any further refinement of the name or additional ideas?
Good night. Good night, world. Have a beautiful night. See you later.
Good night, Dave. Have a wonderful night, and see you later.